Well, if it isn't Tony Stark messing everything up, it's the X-Men with all their time-hopping, body-switching, reality-altering, and X's. Hey everyone, I'm DK, and this is Alter Ego, the show that strives to take a deeper look at some of our favorite names in comics. Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters hosts one of Marvel's premier super teams, the X-Men. But despite what you may think, this name is not an ego booster for Mr. Charles Xavier. Not for the first time, nor the last time. Sheldon from Big Bang Theory is wrong about something.
I guess I was wrong.
X-Men first appeared in September of 1963 and were created by, of course, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. And as a side note, Stan Lee has said in many interviews that the comic was inspired by the civil rights movement that was taking place and sought to enlighten everyone to the acceptance of all people, with Professor X being more of a Martin Luther King Jr. figure and Magneto more of a Malcolm X. But this has no actual solid basis. In fact, this statement was not made definitively until Chris Claremont had stated his inspirations after taking over the title. The starting lineup consisted of a small group of teenage heroes led by Professor X himself. There was Cyclops, Scott Summers, Marvel Girl, Jean Grey, later to be known as Phoenix, Angel, Warren Worthington III, later Archangel, Beast, Hank McCoy, and Iceman himself, Mr. Bobby Drake. Stan Lee and Jack Kirby had wanted to create another group of heroes after the Fantastic Four and decided that, as he put it, I couldn't have everybody bitten by a radioactive spider or exposed to a gamma-ray explosion, and I took the cowardly way out. I said to myself, why don't I just say they're mutants? They were born that way. And to that end, when they were deciding on a name for the team, they came up with the perfect one. The Mutants. But that's not their name. Marvel publisher and founder of the company, Martin Goodman, made sure of that. He was worried that no one would know what a mutant was, so the most logical name was a no-go. The brains behind the comics decided to go with X-Men, which is not a self-aggrandization for Professor X. In modern times, it relates to the X gene, the mutant-making gene, the gene responsible for the difference between Homo sapien and Homo superior, the gene which grants the mutants their powers. And since the X-Men are a team of mutants, it only makes sense that their group is named after the very thing that makes them who they are. But it wasn't always this way. No, see, that would make too much sense. This is comics. Things are rarely that coherent. In fact, the X in X-Men originally stood for something much simpler. Let's read how Professor Xavier explains it to Jean Grey in X-Men #1. You, Miss Grey, like the other 4 students at this most exclusive school, are a mutant. You possess an extra power, one which ordinary humans do not. That is why I call my students X-Men, for extra power. Yep, that's right. X stands for extra, or more specifically, extra power. The extra power men running around in their extra power jets with their extra powers. The gene thing was added later, but that is the long and short of it. It's uncanny how extraordinary the X-Men are, wouldn't you say? I don't even feel bad. I think it's funny. So what did you think the X in X-Men stood for? Who is your favorite X-Man? And how do you feel about the title The Mutants? Let's talk about it all in the comments. Hey, if you happen to dig this show, go ahead and click on this video right here to check out some more of the show. It's good. I know I'm not Scott, but it's good. You should watch it. And if you didn't catch all of our videos for X-Men Week, click right here to get a playlist of all of them. There's even one on Nightcrawler. He's one of my favorites. I love that fuzzy blue elf. And hey, if this is your first time joining us here at NerdSync, we publish new videos every week, so make sure to slap that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing while we explore the art, history, science, and names behind our favorite comics. Once again, guys, this is DK, and I want to say thank you for joining us here on Alter Ego, and remember to always read between the panels and grow smarter through comics. See you next time.